Okay. All right. Cool. 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 Dude. Dude thing. Dude, bro. Dude, bruh.
Immediately when I get on, zombie grumbles happen. Well.
All right. So today, we definitely want to go ahead and get ourselves like the whole, what's the thing I'm looking for? Iron pickaxes from tool stuff.
Yeah. I'll get that worked on. I think I made the. So I got the cast made for the pickaxe stuff. We just need to. I've actually got every piece made so that we could make pickaxes. I'm also going to make my sword, but that's going to be more involved than the pickaxes, being as I'll have to make more casts and everything.
Right.
So and we've already got iron that's melted down from yesterday. So I'm fine with just making.
Oh, my frying pan just murderlated that skeleton in one shot.
And it's the best noise ever.
It was a good noise. It was a legitimately good noise. I was happy with it.
Alright, so I'm going to pour out a couple of pickaxe heads.
Very, very good. So the secondary mode on it charges.
Yeah.
How do I swing it though?
So it's charged up, and then I think it'll be like I think it's if you let go, it'll smack it.
As long as there's a bad guy there.
Yeah, I would assume.
Okay,
I'm not
try
certain.
that on this skeleton. Oh, there's a creeper too.
But also, if you hit something that, like a cow or something, that would drop like steak and things.
Yeah, then it
cooks it. Sure, we'll just go ahead and make the bindings out of iron too.
Ah, you dang dirty creeper. Yeah, there's just no swing animation on the charge, which is weird. I would think there would be a swing animation on it.
Cook it, or it does actually like swing at it when you let go.
Yeah, so like you hold right click and he like holds it up and you can see him like, you know, like rearing it back and charging it. Yeah. But like he doesn't ever actually like, when you let go, it just goes back to the neutral position. But it did totally kill the thing whenever I let go of it. So it's like, huh, weird. Just doesn't ever actually show it move towards the enemy in a swinging type of fashion. Although I guess my shield's kind of useless now. Can't exactly shield in this.
Oh, I mean, you could if you had a broadsword. Hey, Warlaws, how you doing?
Oh, what's up, beautiful? Welcome to the stream.
I'm working out names for my pickaxe. This is always the hardest part in anything, is choose a name. It's like, ah, crap.
The name for your weapon?
Yeah. I got it. Okay. I have the pieces for you to make yours, if you'd like. I can leave them somewhere, or I can just make it and ask what you want it to name. Want it to be named.
Yeah, I can just head back over real quick. I haven't really gotten very far. I've just been kind of goofing around, trying out my frying pan. Really, I was mostly looking to see if I could find anything that I could cook with it, but alas, I have found very little on the overworld.
The real question is, can you use it to keep rain off of your head?
Use it as a hat.
Well, it's used as a drying pan at that point.
Drying pan instead of a frying pan.
Yeah, that's not an original joke, by the way. That's from Pokemon. That was Brock being the worst. He's like, I'll use my drying pan, my frying pan, puts it over his head as a drying pan. And everyone's just like,
Okay, so I go to the tool forge now, is that right?
Yeah. You should be able to just click on pickaxe and then you should be able to tell what it is.
Yeah, there we go.
In theory.
Yep, I got this.
I'm doing alright, Warlords. Just kind of hanging out. This is really the first thing I've done this morning, so it's a good way to start the morning.
I didn't name it. I forgot.
You may be able to put it back in and name it since it's not named at all, but I am not sure.
That's unfortunate. Oh well, it's not a big deal.
You can try, like, put it in the middle where it's the repair stuff and try to put a name in at the top.
Oh, you know what? That might work. Excalabax.
I see you also went with that sort of thing. I have the Pickinator Mark II.
Yeah, Excalabax the second. Yeah. Oh.
Okay,
my
so
death
now...
light thing was here in the base, and it was almost the exact same color as the zombie's pants are.
Okay, so the large sword.
And so I was walking up the stairs and then heard a zombie noise and then looked up and there was blue and it looked like zombie pants and I was like, how'd you get in here?
Who are you people? Wait, do I look like Steve to you?
Huh. I killed the chicken with the charge and it gave out raw chicken. Weird.
Who knows?
I am unsure, but it is very deadly, so there's that.
It is deadly deathful death. It is the pan of deadly deathful death.
Alright, I think it worked that time. It did. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is super helpful because now I can just go out on adventures and not have to really worry too much about food, because as long as I manage to track down something, it'll be fine. Oh my goodness, that guy just flew. That was great. Okay, I'm coming back so we can sleep, and then tomorrow morning I'm gonna go to a ravine and do some mining and try to test out my new iron axe and see if we can't find anything more legitimate. And then I'd love to start pushing towards getting to the nether somehow. That'd be cool. Any of our stuff that we have going on, add anything to the nether, or is the nether still going to be pretty much?
I'm unsure. I think it's mostly normal.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured.
But who knows? There should be some more ores in there. I think that's the most of it. And there's just 2 that show up in the nether. There's Ardite and Cobalt, and I don't know if we can mine either one of them at the moment. Because they're weird, from what I remember on how to actually get them. Because if you put those 2 together, that's how you get the strongest alloy, the manulin that I was talking about yesterday. So it's very late game type stuff. Just off in the distance, just a pan out of nowhere. It's maybe the greatest thing. It's like, what was that? Nothing!
Everything's fine, I swear. Oh, that was not the thing that I wanted to do. Ah, poop. I have to hoe it again. Ah, darn it. Everything's terrible. Ah, I hate this.
I've got the stone hoe. That's already partially used. I'll put it in a chest.
Let's see. Hoe. Okay.
There we go. Just use the one that's in the chest.
Okay. Sure.
We don't need
I'd almost figured out how to build a hoe, though.
I mean, it's like you're building a pickaxe, but one less.
I did finally get it. I was like, there it is. What? No. What?
Aha!
Okay, so I'm supposed to right-click on it? Okay.
so we're gonna need more gold if we're gonna be doing any other real casting stuff, because we have a lot of the basic things, but they're like some of the special parts for bits and pieces we may need more gold to find. But we can figure that out.
Is there's a quick way to move things directly into a box and have it stack on other things like it, right?
What?
How do I quickly stack items into a box? Like, there should be a way of just like clicking a button and it just makes everything I have go into the box of that type, right?
Not as far as I know, but if you will shift right click stuff, it'll automatically switch it between inventories. Or shift left click it, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing I was trying to figure out. Okay, yeah, there we go. I got it. I get it. Okay,
I thought you were saying like if you click on one, it'll take all of the chicken or something that you have in your inventory and just shove it into the box.
Although double clicking on something does do that, does pick it all up. So then I don't know what you can do at that point, but. Okay.
I think I'm
I need all this cobblestone, especially now that I've got so much stuff.
Yeah.
So, question: when I repair my Excalibax 2, I'm gonna have to have iron ingots to do so, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay. So I definitely want to keep Excalibax 1 on me so that I'm not, like, ever without any type of.
Yeah. Typically, honestly, I may be the wrong person to ask about it, but what I end up doing is I'll carry. I don't usually use my iron one for everything until we're like just rich with iron. Just because it's harder to get the iron than it is the stone. And so like if I'm just cutting through stone or something, I'll use the stone, or I'll figure out, there are, I think, potentially some ways that you can mend that kind of stuff automatically, but they changed it, so it's weird now.
Right. Oh, whoa. There's a skelly just like exactly right outside of our front door. No. Die, scum. Okay, but that's cool. Now I got more bones. Oh, no, I didn't get any bones off of him. Why that guy not have any bones? He's made of bones. You're telling me you kill a guy who's made entirely of bones and there isn't a single bone left over?
Consider the following. You pulverized him to dust.
I mean, I was using a frying pan, it's true. I mean, the frying pan is essentially the sledgehammer of the cooking world. So, good point there.
So, one of the cool things about the cleaver that I'm working on making is its special thing is beheading. So I'd be able to get skulls and stuff a lot easier. So especially if we need, like, I don't know, wither skeleton skulls for whatever reason.
Right.
I'll have a sword that'll be good at that.
Very cool. That is fun.
It doesn't, like, always drop, but it's a much higher rate.
What's the name of the wither skeleton boss thing? Is it just called the Wither?
Yes.
That's kind of disappointing.
I mean...
Also, I have marked, if you look at the location I'm at right now on the map, I have marked this location as, quote, Dog Haven, because there are at least 3 dogs here. Maybe 4. They
good
just
to
are
know
here.
In case you ever try to attack me again and my dogs defend me and die in the process.
Exactly, yeah. I'm that's what I'm telling you. Wow, there's like 5 dogs here. Goodness gracious. Why are there so many dogs here? It's great. It's like a dog biome.
That would be the best.
Yeah, let's make a mod for it. Dog biome. Oh my goodness, this ravine just came out of nowhere and it is just gargantuan.
Oh, there was also the ravine I found yesterday that's like actually like in our mine that's attached to our house.
Oh, cool.
So,
I'm gonna try to like MLG like bucket stop. I messed it up.
I was gonna say, like it's one of those things that people like legitimately practice for.
Well, yeah, I mean it was a short ravine,
stuff.
and I am practicing. That's the practicing, Adam. You think I can practice without practicing?
Yes.
That's silly. That's not how life works.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
That's not how the Force works. You know, there's a lot to be said about the sequel trilogy. You know, some good, some bad. That's probably one of my favorite moments of the whole thing, though. When Finn is like, we could just use the Force, and Han Solo's like, that's not how the Force works.
Honestly, for me, and I don't know what it was about it, but for me, one of the things that I felt was a little bit unnecessary was the whole... Well, first of all, I am of the opinion that about half of Last Jedi was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Where...
That's true. You're just speaking facts right now.
Where if Holdo had just told Poe about her plan...
Get the spicy tea right now.
The whole Rose and Finn storyline would not exist.
Right. Well, and I mean, not to mention the whole Rose and Finn storyline in that was kind of just like an excuse to have them go do something that seemed vaguely important because they didn't know.
Yeah, and to also build a relationship that they did nothing with later on.
Right. Yeah.
So it just seemed
was problematic.
It seemed kind of pointless. Like, even after Last Jedi, I was like, wow, parts of this were amazing, and then other parts of it were just kind of, meh.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not such a hater of the sequel trilogy that like I am like unwilling to watch them or think that they were like just straight up like terrible movies or anything, but I do feel like because really the main thing is I understand that anytime you make a sequel to something, you are opening yourself up for, like, when it's already a complete arc, you know, like it's a full story, you're opening yourself up to kind of, like, criticism and ruining things just by virtue of the fact that, like, that story's over, everybody was pretty happy with it. I mean, did we kind of want the story to go on? Yeah. Did we really ask for a sequel? No. Like... So it's just difficult because no matter what they did, there was going to be issues, but obviously there were ways they could have handled things better than they did.
Yeah.
So.
And like honestly, I'm one of those people that like when I first saw Rise of Skywalker, my first thought was, wow, this gives me shades of both Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi in different parts of the movie. And so I was like, this is actually like really, really good. And like, it's one of those reasons, like, I really trust JJ to do that kind of stuff. Like, he seems to be the guy that you call if you need to revive an old series.
Yeah, I did like the newer Trek movies a lot. They were cool.
Like, he did that. He's on Superman as of, like, just this last week from what I can see.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where it's like, if you have an old series, you get J.J. Abrams because J.J. at least has some experience with reviving old stuff and at least being like adding new things but also keeping true to the old stuff so that it's not like completely and totally different.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of the problem is that the way Rian Johnson wanted to handle The Last Jedi was that he wanted to subvert expectations, and I get that, but like, first of all, subverting expectations for the sake of subverting expectations when you don't actually have anything to say is not actually like a good idea. Like yeah, if you're gonna like have like an important stance, something that you want to say that's gonna be made more important and more interesting by subverting things, then that's one thing. But like, if you're pretty much just like, I decided that it would be fun to change this story for reasons, but don't have a reason behind it,
right,
then it's not actually that great of an idea. And what you really have to be careful in those situations, of course, about is that it's a beloved franchise. So
right,
when everyone goes in there, they still expect it to be Star Wars. And so if you don't give them Star Wars and they expect it to be Star Wars, then they're just going to be grumpy about it.
Yeah.
And you've got to be open to that criticism whenever people come out and say, hey, I paid to watch this movie because it's Star Wars and it didn't end up feeling like Star Wars, so I'm a little frustrated about that. Like, that's a perfectly legitimate criticism that people should be able to have.
Well, and the thing is, like, it's not even that he's a bad director, because Knives Out is amazing. I love that movie.
Yeah, it's just that he usually makes different types of movies.
Yeah, I mean, Knives Out felt like his style. Like, that felt like that was where he really belonged. That's, like, the only real other, like, gauge that I have for that. It's like, oh, this is much better than Last Jedi turned out to be. This feels right for him.
Right.
Whereas
I still haven't seen Knives Out, but I have only heard good things about it, and
it's
from
great.
people that I know and trust.
I will say, if anyone is considering watching it, there's language in it. Mm-hmm. Legitimately, Captain America cusses in it because Chris Evans is in it. But
that's pretty great though.
But
Chris
I mean,
Evans
like,
is a really good
the
actor.
casting in it is amazing too. Like, it's Chris Evans, it's Jamie Lee Curtis, it's I think his name is Daniel Craig.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's, and even the people that I didn't know were actually really good, and there were some people I just didn't know because they were like actors from a different generation that I was not aware of. Because we're in the generation of, like, all the MCU actors and everything, so.
Right.
And I know some of the older actors because of having just seen the movies and things, but it really didn't matter. It was still good no matter what.
Yeah. So yeah, I am legitimately pumped for the High Republic movies, because anytime you're gonna make something that's completely detached from the Star Wars we already know, it's gonna be a better thing.
Straight up, I am so ready for the Skywalker Saga. I was so ready for the Skywalker Saga stuff to be done.
Right. In fact, like, the best parts of The Mandalorian are the parts that have nothing to do with any of the other things. Like, not that I dislike the little cameos and stuff and Boba Fett showing up and things like that, but... Like,
and to be fair, I am
also spoilers, I guess.
Extremely excited for the new Obi-Wan series, because
yes, Obi-Wan is the best character in all of Star Wars, and
I would argue that there is a character that is better overall, because my favorite Obi-Wan is Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan.
Absolutely, yeah.
Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan really didn't do anything for me, and then I saw the prequels and went, "Oh, I love this man's."
Yeah, he was definitely much cooler in the prequel movies. I will definitely, and he's the only, like, him and some of the stuff with Yoda was pretty much some of the only, like, really good parts of the prequel trilogy.
Like, honestly, this is going to be the controversial Star Wars opinion. I really like Attack of the Clones, but the reason why is because that movie is a big reason why I love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I think that his, like, solo adventures in that were actually really great.
And like, we got Django and stuff out of that, so it was, like...
His solo adventures in that were definitely some of the better stuff in all of the prequels. So, yeah, I'm there with you on that.
And so, like... But my bid for best character in Star Wars is R2-D2, because... that droid can do me no wrong from what I
do love me some R2-D2 for sure, but of course, like, he'll always have, like, it'll always be hard for him to compete with characters that actually can talk and stuff for best character, just because, not because it's an actual issue with him, but just because writers don't always know what to do with him, because he's just kind of there and can't talk. So,
well, and that's the thing, like, especially, like, I will say, in the Clone Wars series, it is so good. Like, they did so good with R2 and the Clone Wars stuff. And so, like, that may be a part of it, but also when he's done well, he is done phenomenally. Because you can do so much because he can't speak.
Right, for sure.
But you have to have somebody that can translate for him to be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right. I definitely love droids when they're in things. I'm always a strong proponent of more interesting droids.
Yeah.
HK-47, of course, is essentially the best Star Wars character of anything.
Well, it's hard to go wrong with Alan Tudyk. I mean, the man's amazing. And it's just so dumb in the best way.
I will always love Knights of the Old Republic and the things that they like, and honestly, some of the best things in the sequel trilogy were the things.
You said HK-47. You know what came into my brain?
What was that?
K2SO, which is why I said the Alan Tudyk thing.
Oh, okay. I assumed that Alan Tudyk was just
no. HK-47, as far as I know, was not Alan Tudyk. but K2 was, and so
okay.
So that would be another great droid.
But I don't know the voice actor for HK-47, so it just made me assume.
I don't either. But I love the KOTOR games. Honestly, there was a part of me that always disliked HK, but the reason why is because I never went dark side.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't go dark side either, but he was still just an enjoyable character, and definitely
to this day, there will be moments where my brothers and I will like start our sentences with like sarcastic response or something like that.
Statement. Sarcastic response. And call each other meatbags.
And so. But yeah, I started playing 2 on a stream at some point, but then
oh yeah, I actually watched some of that one.
Things happened where it was like, I think that was while I was still in college, and I was on a laptop, and I don't know if I have that save anymore, so
yeah,
I think at some point I'm going to start playing the first one, and then move to the second one with a new save.
You should do a pure caster challenge on the first one by not taking any levels in anything until you become a Jedi. It's
honestly,
really hard. It's fun.
I think I would need to actually like play through once before I do that kind of stuff, because I have not played 1 near as much as I've played 2, and 2, I don't even know if I've completed a KOTOR game, but I've like seen people complete a KOTOR game.
Okay, yeah, you might want the pure experience then.
So I need to actually like go all the way through it.
Yeah.
Before I do anything weird.
I've beaten both of them a good handful of times, so I've started to get to where I'm like looking for like interesting things to do, and then one day I was just suddenly like, wait a second, like if you want to be like obviously anyone who's in the know knows that KOTOR is just Star Wars D&D.
I mean, yeah.
And so there's like a level of like, oh, you can't really just play in KOTOR 1 just Wizard, because the Wizard class is essentially locked behind a Prestige class. But it's really just multi-classing. But anyway, that to say that whenever I was thinking about that, I suddenly realized, well, I guess there's nothing stopping you from just not leveling up in anything until you become a consular, and that would do it. And I looked into it, and sure enough, you can totally do that. And so that's what I started working towards. It's really hard. I haven't ever beaten the game that way, but it's fun. Like.
Well, I guess the other thing would be, as far as the Star Wars stuff, can you imagine if there was a KOTOR role-playing like book?
Oh,
you could actually like use stuff from that era, just roll up characters and play through it.
So there is one that is nearly identical to it. It was not the most recent one from Fantasy Flight. Let me look it up really quick to see which one it is. I own like a bunch of the books for it. It was called Star Wars Saga Role Playing, I think. Let's see. Yeah, so Star Wars Saga Role Playing game. Star Wars role-playing game core rulebook. Is it Saga? Yeah. Oh well, there was a Saga edition. That's what it was. I had the Saga edition, so it was. But anyway, it's a D20 RPG. It has all the races and stuff. There's a whole bunch of expansion books. I'll shoot you a picture at some point or after this stream. I have on my shelf like 5 or 6 of the books because I have a bunch of the like supplementary ones and stuff like that. It totally exists. It's out there. For some reason, they replaced it with a more like tabletop miniature focused version later on that does not have near as much of the like straight D&D stuff style roll, 20 role playing stuff. It's pretty good. It's neat. Obviously, as with a lot of RPGs, if the people you're playing with don't know what they're doing, then it gets bogged down really fast. It takes forever, and that's kind of hard. What level is Diamond on? What, like 11?
12-ish, I think, is typically held as like the example. Yeah, honestly, hopefully soon I'm gonna be starting up another D&D campaign with people because I miss it so much.
Absolutely, it is one of the things that I miss the most since COVID. Is D&D because like obviously like, and it's weird because obviously there is ways of doing that from home and using the internet and stuff, and I would, I'm totally down for doing that. It does miss something, whenever you're not in person, you're not able to like, because half the fun of D&D is joking around, being a goofball with your friends, and like it's hard whenever you're doing it through video chat. Like if somebody's doing something, like obviously somebody has to be doing something at all times, and that person needs to have the like focus on them because it's difficult to hear what's going on if everybody's talking through video chat while somebody's trying to actually accomplish something. And so like you find yourself a lot more of the time like just looking at your phone or something when it's not your turn to do something, which just kind of removes some of the...
I've played with, I feel like especially in what I've experienced, if you're a new player like just getting into D&D, it's really kind of rough to get into D&D now, like just doing it over video chat, because you're gonna do that kind of stuff, and so absolutely. It's rougher. But if you got a bunch of experienced people, I don't know if it's gonna be that big of a problem. The problem that I've had is that the groups that I play with, there was a group that I sort of got together and was like, hey, do you all want to try to play D&D? And they were like, yeah, that sounds cool. That was like right after I had become addicted to it through the group we had at college. And so I was like, I need people to play this with me. So I will DM for a little while, and hopefully I can get somebody else hooked on it. And I did. But the problem is, it was my little brother, my older brother, my dad, and one of my little brother's friends. And my little brother and his friend are both in college. That is an hour away from me. And my older brother is now like 2 hours away from home, so it's rough. And then I'm away from Dad because I'm in my own apartment, and Dad just didn't have time for that kind of stuff. So it was a thing where nobody was able to do things.
Yeah, getting a good group of people together who actually have the time for it is super difficult, and so
And then the other one, it got stopped because the guy had too many campaigns going at once, and so he paused.
Yeah, that's also an issue, is that like if you have somebody who's like actually legitimately a good DM, and therefore somebody who you would like to actually play with, they oftentimes have like a bunch of campaigns going, and so then you have to like fight against other people in order to and then eventually, like, especially if they started your campaign last, they're just like, okay, well, guys, I gotta get back to my main campaign, because,
the other thing, at least for me, is that I want to do more that's role-playing focused.
Right.
because I've got characters that would be really, really good for that. And then we get, like, the campaign that got stopped, it wasn't super heavy roleplay. It was mostly just like, hey, this thing happens now, what are you going to do? I'm going to go do this. Okay, you go and do that.
Yeah.
Whereas I want to, I'm going to be honest, one of the reasons I got hooked was Critical Role, so it's a big thing where
Yeah,
it's
like the legitimate roleplay.
I want that kind of roleplay. Not necessarily that level, because that's insane.
Right.
But I want that kind of game where I can
you
actually
want the experience where people have characters and they actually talk.
Yeah, I want to actually have fun, and that's what we did at college. Like when I was first playing in that one, like we were all talking in character. Well, most of us were talking in character, and that was the moments that we had the most fun.
Yeah, and then obviously there's no problem if newer players mostly talk out of character and stuff like that. Like that.
And I mean that was fine, but it's one of those things where it's like if I've got those situations where it's like when I built that character, his name was Dorn Bronzebeard. He was a dwarf fighter because I was like, I'm gonna make a fighter because I don't really know what I'm doing. And fighter seems simple. I went champion fighter because it's even simpler.
Right.
And so it's
just
I was
to deal lots of damage very easily.
Yeah. My job is to roll up and hit things. And I think by the end I had a AC of 20.
Nice.
Because I went board and sword. Well, board and hammer for mine. And so I ended up with at level 1, I think I had 18 AC.
Yeah.
And so nothing was hitting me because it's 18 at level 1.
Right.
We hadn't even gotten into a dungeon yet. We were just met in a tavern because that's literally how we started.
Because that's how everyone starts.
Yeah. And
this is the way.
I mean, it's a good way to start.
Creeper.
But it was just one of those things where I love that character because I was just kind of able to let him breathe. I didn't really write backstory for him or anything.
Yeah, and that's really
his backstory evolved with it, and that is the perfect way to start a D&D character.
Absolutely. Your first character, you're just figuring out how the game works. It's really helpful to just be like, okay, yeah, this guy, I'll just kind of make some stuff up on the fly as he goes along, and that'll help me figure out who he is and how I want him to act and stuff. And if it's your first character, your party should be if they're more experienced, they'll help you. Their characters can ask you questions and stuff, and that can get you talking and coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
And,
for me,
and nobody's too picky early on either about if your character is staying super consistent, because it's oh, you're a brand new player, you're still learning.
For me, the best way to do it is you give them a few points where it's okay, this is something that can this is some way that my character is related to the world. And then just, give them a few people that they know, give them a place that they're from, that sort of stuff. And then just, other than that, don't really give details.
Yeah.
And then
I think
you'll
also,
have a lot
too,
more fun.
what really can help is having, a low-level goal, other than I want to save the world, but just, one of my favorite characters I ever had was just a wizard, and his whole thing was, he wanted to be a historian, and so he was, going out and, trying to live life and be there when great things were happening so that he could talk about them, and so that, gave me, real reasons to, interact with other characters and stuff outside of just, I am a heroic character and I'm here to save the day, I was oh, no, I want to, oh, doing that sounds interesting because it might be good for a book I'm writing,
Well, and with Dorn, one of the things that ended up happening is I made him a blacksmith because I thought that would be kind of cool, that he was just a blacksmith that got really bored of just sitting in the blacksmith making weapons for people instead of using them. And so he went off on his own, not his parents died or anything. Like, it was literally just he got bored. He wanted to go exploring for a while, and in the end, he went back. And so it was a big thing where it was like, okay, he's gonna go and do all this stuff, and he's gonna go have fun, and in the end, he's gonna end up back home and just be like, well, that was fun. And
right.
It was, I didn't like have the like stereotypical like D&D. My parents were killed when I was 3 years old and that sort of thing.
Right.
And it was so good. And in the end, I ended up with our barbarian was kind of my partner in crime, which is always a bad sign when your partner in crime is the barbarian, and our bard. So we were a mess, but we ended up deciding that we wanted to start making kegs and things, to the point that Dorn started carrying around. We rigged up a keg on a with backpack straps, and I carried it. Nice. At all times, and always filled it sometimes with other things. Like at one point, I know I had I think it was called Dragon's Fire whiskey or something in there, and we were going to a cold area, and they asked, "All right, do we have all the gear we need?" And I'm like, "Yep, I have everything to keep me warm," and I just pat the keg.
That's pretty wonderful.
So it was such a good thing, and so I ended up getting the title of Kegmeister, and it was sort of a self-given title, but they were like, "We need a name for you," and I was like, "Well, what about Kegmeister?" I'm like, "Yes." So I ended up as the Kegmeister, and one of the items that I found was it was the Ring of Mind Shielding. And so they were like, maybe you should have this because it helps with psychic things. They can't read your mind and that sort of thing. Right. But one of the other side effects of it is if you die, you can choose to have your soul go into the ring.
Oh, neat. And
whoever puts on the ring next, it's essentially the ring of whoever you are. And they can't force you out of their mind and that sort of thing. It's sort of like you have a second head to help you do things, that sort of thing. Right. So they'll have all of your knowledge and that sort of stuff. What I decided to do with it is, since the character was kind of retired, I was like, okay, what if it was at the end? I was my senior year, so I wasn't coming back for more D&D things with that group. So I was like, what if Dorn goes back to his home and then is a blacksmith for the rest of his days, and then when he dies, it doesn't say when he dies in a dungeon or anything, it just says when he dies. So when he dies of natural causes or whatever, he goes into his ring and he requests that he be appointed as an advisor, a permanent advisor to the king. As the ring is passed down from generation to generation, and Dorn will have experienced all these events.
Oh, neat.
And is kind of listen, this happened before, you don't want to do this.
Right.
But he was also that type of character. He's really? Are you gonna do that? Alright. Listen, this is why this is a stupid idea. And so it was a lot of fun to actually be you know what, that's how I want this character to be, is that he ends up being not a king or anything like that, but just because he's been around for so long, right, he helps out the king by being listen, this happened 30 years ago to me, I don't want it to happen to you, here's how you can avoid that, don't be stupid.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. The item being there to allow you to do that is
that was
cool.
The entire reason why that happened. We found the Ring of Mind Shielding in a dungeon thing as a random loot drop, and they were like, "Hey, maybe you should have this." I was like, "Maybe I should."
Yeah, that's
and
super
then
cool.
from there, it was just like at the end, it was like, what am I gonna do? Oh, how about this? The Ring of Dorn. And you can't get him out of your brain. And
Are you diamond or silver? I never can tell now. Silver. It's always silver. I never find diamond.
I will say one of the characters I want to play at some point, and I'm either gonna play this one or a Furbolg Abjuration Wizard. But one of the characters I've designed, like I've gotten to that phase where I'm like, what characters can I make, and what weird combinations can I find? I made a sorcerer that has an entertainer background.
Oh, fun. So he's like a straight up.
He's a street magician.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, that's how he's gonna get started in things, is that he's a street magician and is just like performing cantrips and things so that people can watch.
That's pretty dope.
I was like, why have I never seen this done before? Because I'm not gonna say why hasn't it been done, because it's D&D, it probably has.
Absolutely. But yeah,
But
it's not an everyday thing.
No, it's usually
like,
entertainer. Oh, you're a bard.
Yeah.
I found some lava.
Some what?
Some lava.
Oh, lava.
And it's in the mine that's connected to our house. So
Okay.
it's a couple little pools. And redstone.
I am searching pretty hard trying to find like diamond and stuff, and to no avail at this point. I'm like, where is this stuff?
I found a much larger pool of lava, just past the two small ones.
I should have thought I would be able to find some diamond by now. I've been
You'd
in the
think.
like,
And
all the
yet.
I've been popping up and down throughout the teens, so I'm anywhere from 11 to 20 essentially, and just constantly finding redstone and stuff like that.
Any extra gold?
And yeah, I found a little gold. Had
Cool.
some gold here and there, so that's cool. But again, you'd think, oh, okay, well, I'm finding gold and I'm finding lava and I'm finding redstone. You'd think I'd have stumbled upon some diamond at some point. Nope.
You'd think. And yet.
Oh, there you are.
Did you find a diamond?
Hello, good sir.
Or did you find a zombo that has been grumbling in your ear all day?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been hearing him for a while. Didn't know where he was.
Where are you,
Finally
Mr.
checked him out.
Man?
Yep. I knew he'd be around somewhere. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go back to the lava I did find and just start digging around it and see what happens. Probably my best bet. Although I haven't checked this way yet. No, I totally checked that way. Why didn't I put a torch? Yeah, I absolutely checked it. So I have a system where I put torches on the right side of
Same.
me as I go in, so that way whenever
I do the same thing.
when I'm leaving, if torches are on my left side, then I'm going the right way.
That means we
If
are
they're
on the same page. No matter which mine we go into, we'll be able to find our way out.
Mm-hmm. It has been a pretty dang helpful system so far because, like, sometimes you get a little turned around, but also it tells me which way I need to go if I'm still wanting to adventure more. If I'm like, okay, well, which way do I want to go and find more things? Okay, well, there's no torch that way, and this last torch here is on my right, so that was one of the places I was headed towards and still haven't searched.
It is sad. So far, I haven't gotten any heads off of my sword.
Where's that larva? Larva. Here we go. Larva. Okay. Gravel. Where's my shovel? I have a shovel. I know it.
I
Here.
think I just led some zombies into lava
Very nice.
on accident
Very nice.
because I was walking above them and they were like, "Hey, let's follow this guy." Then they just walked into lava.
I was saying very nice, but now you monster.
Didn't do it on purpose.
That's my point. If you had done it on purpose, I'd be like, ah, cool. You killed them in an interesting and cool way. Instead, you just led them to their death on accident. You monster.
Listen, all I was doing was exploring, and then all of a sudden I heard burning zombie sounds. And I was like, they must have walked into the lava.
And I am starting to get a little ways away from my tool station. I need to get back over there.
Hey, come here. Come here, buddy.
I have my tool station kind of stationed a little ways back so that I could
forgot that drop from zombies. I got a potato.
Yay, potatoes. I love potatoes. Man, you're making me hungry for some potatoes, man. My Irish blood calls out.
Didn't this happen yesterday?
Huh?
Didn't this happen yesterday?
Something along those lines did. Oh my goodness, that creeper went flying.
Barely mentioned potatoes. It's like, man, now I want potatoes.
Yeah, something along those lines.
I mean, it's fair, but...
It happens literally every day, all day. I want potatoes all the time, man. I can't tell you.
You're making me want potatoes. Don't you always want potatoes? Yeah, but I want them especially now.
Yeah. I'm always like going along, and then I go to a restaurant and I order a hamburger. I'm like, okay, and I'm not gonna get any French fries or anything because I'm gonna try to be a little bit more healthy. And then somehow I accidentally order French fries.
Oops, all French fries. I got a carrot. I finally got a zombie head. Good grief. After how many? Alright. As far as I know, zombie heads aren't something that's like used in this mod pack as like an ingredient for something. But who knows? I could always be wrong. It's happened before.
You're always wrong.
That's what I was saying.
I'm just joking with you. Obviously.
Come here, skeleton. I need you to
What
get
the heck?
close.
I can see through the wall here, which is weird, but also helpful because I definitely saw something that I want to go look at.
So if I let my sword fully charge 2 swings, I can take out a zombie or a skeleton. Hey, I got a skull!
Cool.
I'm gonna have to come up soon just so I can drop off a bunch of the random things that are all in my inventory.
Yeah, when I'm done here, I'm gonna have to go into town and do some work, and then I will probably get something with some tasty potatoes or French fries. I can go to Wendy's. Wendy's has baked potatoes. They have baked potatoes that are covered in bacon and cheese if you want to get them that way. Wonderful thing.
The biggest problem I can see with that is I'm not as big a fan of like the fake cheese.
It does have shredded real cheese on it, although I think they do throw some like cheese sauce sort of stuff on there too. So obviously you could always just say, I would like a baked potato, bacon and cheese, please, just real cheese.
I found a dungeon.
Ooh, nice. Lava. Yes.
The problem is there's still stuff spawning in it, and so I can't. And my inventory's full, so I can't like get the stuff out of the chest right now. And there's a skeleton in there for some reason. It's a spider dungeon.
Okay, I'm on Y8. Actually Y9, and I'm right next to lava. So this is looking somewhat promising.
Let me see if I can clear out the dungeon real quick.
Diamonds usually right around lava, right? I'm not just crazy for thinking that, am I?
They can be. They don't have to be. Oh man.
quite certain that there's like a big hole behind this lava somewhere because a minute ago I could see through the wall
spawner's broken.
Randomly.
There's a lot of spiders in here.
There was randomly I could see through
just
the walls
stuck on the
for a
ceiling.
second. Things glitched, and I could see like a whole bunch of patches of lava over here, which is why I started digging through the walls here.
Get out of that corner. It's like in real life, the spiders are just stuck up in the corner of the wall, just down from there.
He knows what he did.
Ooh, we got some cool things. We got, I got some gold ingots. Take that iron. I can take this coal. I can take this redstone. I can take all this string. These bones. There's some Britannia things down here.
Cool.
So that's kind of cool. Got some melon seeds. A saddle. And a name tag. So if we find a horse, we're all set.
We're all set up to have a horse and name it then.
Yeah. Problem is, I'm going to have to dump some stuff out of my inventory so that I can actually carry things. I don't need andesite. I'll take the gunpowder because there's a ton in this chest for whatever reason.
No luck finding diamonds still.
I also found some bread.
And I'm gonna be close to needing to come back just out of pure virtue of needing food and stuff eventually soon, so.
Drop the granite, pick up the mana steel.
I mean, I've gotten a bunch of lapis, and I've gotten a bunch of, Oh, that's close. I just stopped the lava here. Gotten a bunch of lapis, gotten a bunch of gold. Like, there's things here. Like, this has been good, but I still want to find diamonds, man.
Picking and choosing which things I want to keep.
You want to keep everything.
That. Well, I can't. I don't have enough space in my inventory.
Are you sure you can't? Or are you just not willing to try?
I can't fit any more in my pockets.
Seems like a personal problem.
I've even got a zombie head on my head. Which is the extra pocket.
How much armor am I actually wearing? Okay, I am wearing a full suit.
There's stuff that I can just wear, is there?
Okay, well, I'm thinking it's time for me to start packing up and coming back because I'm not having just a ton of luck finding anything useful right now other than what I already have. So throw out a bunch of my cobblestone and a bunch of my gravel, and then I can start. Wait, do you need gravel?
So put that there. Not at the moment.
Okay. I can't remember if it was one of those things that like you really needed a lot of at some point.
I did. I needed it for the seared brick stuff, but
yeah.
Unless we're making more stuff out of seared brick, I don't really need it.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. It was like vaguely like, I think we needed this at some point, but.
Right. Time to head on back.
Yep. Time to head up the dusty trail.
Well, time to hit the old dusty trail.
I got a bunch of iron, so that's cool, but I didn't ever find anything that I really wanted.
Iron is good.
Yeah. Although, unfortunately, well, no, I've got a bunch of non-smelted. I've got 25 unsmelted iron, and I've got 45 smelted iron. So, yeah, we're gonna do pretty good.
And I found some lava that we don't have to go like outside to go find if we need some for the smeltery.
Awesome.
So that's pretty great. Yeah. So jumping.
Yep, I'm going up a little staircase thing I made too. Let's just jump, 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 jump. Jump, 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 jump.
Well, on this keyboard, you can always tell when you're jumping because it's mechanical. So
right.
I need to mark this. Otherwise, I will forget that that is there. So open that up like that, I guess.
I've gotten pretty good at doing the whole like water elevator thing where you put a bucket of water above you where you're trying to climb up to, and then you like right whenever you get up to the top of the bucket of the water, you rebucket it and then place it higher. It has been working pretty dang well. Okay, so that ravine is pretty well searched. There's nothing too crazy in it. I mean, I'm not gonna like mark it as like never needing to search it again or anything because it still had plenty of different types of ore and stuff. But
oh, this ravine still needs a lot of work. Like there's a whole direction I haven't gone yet.
Yeah.
So there's plenty to do down there.
So last night, Emily and I went and got a new car.
Alrighty.
So that was pretty exciting. It was used, but in really good condition at a decent price. It's a 2018 Nissan Rogue with 43,000 miles on it. And
That's what,
I got it for a really reasonable price. And
my older brother's got a Rogue. It's pretty nice.
yeah, it's a neat little car, and like the Venn diagram of things that I wanted were really like met by it. So like I wanted lots of storage space, and I wanted really decent gas mileage, and I wanted something with all-wheel drive. And so that one gets 31 miles to the gallon on the highway and has all-wheel drive that you can turn on. So it's like, okay, good. This is exactly what I want. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Oh no, I'm gonna die.
I'm hoping that wasn't part of the same thing that you were talking about just now.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that oh no, I'm gonna die was not the real life thing, but was in fact.
Yeah, the Nissan Rogue's gonna kill me. It's autonomous. Wait, send help! Wait. No, that's impossible. How could you be? Oh, hey, what's up?
I have some things.
You're hanging some jerky, I see.
Yeah. Well, when you find some zombies that you killed in the mines, what are you gonna do with it?
Yep. I tossed some jerky and some rotten flesh. It's not jerky yet into the thing, so you will have
Last
more.
of my fries.
Let's see. Guess I'll steal some eggs. And then I'm thinking it's actually probably about time to call it a day, honestly. I know we've only played for about an hour, but it's a slightly busier day than yesterday was.
Did you see my?
And I'm hungry.
Did you see my mask?
Oh my goodness, you're horrifying. I'm gonna cook you.
Oh.
Ooh, look at all these mature carrots, man.
Well, when we don't have people tending the garden and we go on an adventure for a while, this can't happen.
Absolutely.
It just turned into a perfectly cut scream on my end. Just
Okay, well, that was lots of fun. We didn't really have like as many viewers and stuff as we did last time we did this, but that's fine. Like, we had a good time when we chatted.
You know what?
And stuff.
That's not why we're here. We're here to play games, and if someone's
I'm here to
that's
play
okay.
games, have fun with you, and become a millionaire streamer. So
sure.
Better fit. No, I'm just joking.
Sure. If you do become a millionaire streamer, that means I've got exposure.
Yep, I tell you what, Adam. If I become a millionaire streamer, I'm taking you with me. Okay?
Cool beans. That's gonna be what'll get me there. Saying stuff like "cool beans." That's what the kids say now, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
Says the
Alrighty.
25-year-old.
Well, thank you so much for playing with me. I had a fun time.
Yeah. I'm
We'll
always
have to
happy
do
to
it
play
again
games. And
Yeah.
especially
I don't know
games that, like, I already know how to play, so I can just kind of, like, autopilot and talk about stuff, too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. It was good streaming content. Yeah. So, I appreciate you. Probably won't play again this week just because, I just bought a car, and so I need to go make money.
Yeah,
So.
that's fine.
So, but we'll plan on doing some stuff probably early next week. So,
Yeah, sounds good.
alrighty, I will talk to you soon, and to all of you viewers out there, I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. For now, this is Nathan Blake signing off from Nathan Blake Games, reminding you that games are art. Art is important, and so are you. Sayonara.
And I am going to head out. Thank you for being here on either stream. And until next time, have fun, play games, and take care. Bye.
Alrighty, Adam.